Peace and love, everything above. It's the Juice Report. So what's happening? The last place I left off, we had just touched down on the yellow footprints. Going and receiving. We hit the telephone wall, call our people, let them know everything is good. 4 or 5 seconds, do that, bang, right on through there. Through there, go down this line, kind of like this conveyor. They sack up everything you need, or all your essentials, basics, pretty much. Send you on through, on to medical assessments, all kind of different kind of tests. You did, right? So we get through all that, boom, we're on to our barracks. So they're taking us into our barracks, and the person that's taking us to he's another character like that, who is just somebody that kind of designated to bring us in, show us where we need to go once we're grouped together. So there's about 80 of us. It's between like 75 and 80 of us in one platoon. That's the size of the group that's gonna train together for the cycle. We're gonna be an 80-person unit for the next 3 months. We're gonna travel together, everything. We do everything together. When we move, we're moving everybody at the same time. That's the way it's gonna go. So there's 80 of them. Get us over. We march across. Get over to our barracks. See it. You know what I'm saying? We stop outside. I'm up the steps. They let us know before we go in. There's racks, which are the bunks. They call them racks. There's 20 on each side, and it's open down the middle, kind of like a runway through the middle. To the left and the right, towards the walls, are the racks. And it's going to be 2 of us to each rack, right? 40 of us on either side, give or take. Some of us less. Some none of us over 80. Some less. So then we go in, line up on either side. We get down to the first bunk, stop. Then the next person. So that's then, bang. That forms the 2. That's gonna stay in at that rack. That's gonna be a rack for the rest of the cycle. You know, unless they change it. Sometimes they might change it for one reason or another. But mostly that was gonna be, you know, where you stay. So we go in, and they have them in their office towards the back of the floor of the barracks, the top floor where we're gonna stay. There's an office, there's windows, but we see there's blinds. You can see a window back there that you could tell is an office of some kind, because you see the window, but the blinds are closed. And you can see the door. So everybody walked in, you know, you can already see, you can already peep. They line us up, have us line up, then we turn, everybody face each other. So we're just 2 rows facing each other, with the racks behind us and off down towards the back of the barracks. And we're not looking that way, but if I remember, I was facing so that office was to my left. That they were in. Now when we first went in, we didn't know that anyone was in there, but we knew, like, you know, there's that's for something, you know, some whether or not somebody was going to be in there, we didn't really know, but we knew something was going to go on with that for some reason. With that office, there was something a little special about that office. So they line us up, and they let us know, kind of like they kind of were like the MCs for our drill instructors that we were going to have. They were going to be our guys for the cycle, who are going to be, you know what I mean? The dudes are supposed to train us to be the man. So yeah, he kind of like MCs it for him, introduces them, almost like pro wrestlers and shit, man. And I remember while he was telling us about how, you know, who we were about to meet and everything, you could hear like banging going off, like how they keep it, like, you know how you keep a, how the bulls, when the rider's on the bull, but he's inside of the pen, he's pent up before they swing the door open, he'd be in there bang kicking the side of the wall, shit, you know, like, you know, something's going on in there. So we're hearing that, and like the tension is just building. Man, it's building up. I think obviously they were doing it on purpose. But you know what I mean? You hear banging here and there, off inside of the office where they came out of. So when the introduction got done, the Marine that gave the introduction, who brought us in and told us the whole deal, and said we were about to meet them, he walked out. They hadn't come out yet. They hadn't come out yet. But he walked out, and it was just silent. None of us knew what to do, so we didn't move. It was just silence for about 12 or 15 seconds. Dead silence. Next thing you know, you hear the knob on the door, almost like it was slow motion. You hear the knob on the door first. Then you hear the whoosh of the door swing open. And these lunatics came out this door wild as all get down. Wild as hell, man. There was 3 of them. There was 2 of them that was more serious. They came out running around back and forth. I mean, screaming, like just running back and forth, tag teaming on people, screaming at you, and get out, telling us get down, get on your face, all this kind of get on your back. So you had people do. So now we're just everyone sporadically doing different kind of wild ass exercises and shit. And they're screaming. They got one person just down. They're both over top of him, screaming at him like a few inches right outside his ear, screaming and shit. Doing that bugged out, crazy, all chaotic type of get down. You know, like laying it out like that first quarter, bearing down on everybody. It was so damn crazy, man. It was crazy. But the who would be our senior drill instructor, when they came out, the two smaller guys, like wild pit bulls running around, just getting at everybody. Rah, 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 rah. He just stood back and was watching them do their thing, and then he looked off to the side and grabbed the garbage can, aluminum garbage can, you know, like with the swinging handles and shit. Grabbed that. I seen him pick it up, bring it back over. He's just holding it. He lets them do their thing a little bit more. Then he lets the garbage can go. Bang! Flings on the wall. Both of them stop instantly. All noise cease. Silence. Pure silence. Silence. Pure silence. Everybody was all ears, all ears. And what was wild because it went from that loud ass, because when you "I sir" and you reply to them, the Marines in basic, they want you to yell. It's disrespectful if you talk back to them softly. If you're not yelling, using like using your outside voice, and I mean screaming it back, then if you're not screaming, then that's being disrespectful, talking soft to them if you're a recruit on the island. So they're screaming and you're "I sirring" them back because that's the reply. When they speak to you, that's it. Like when they give an order, they tell you to do something, so they're telling you do push-ups. Every time they tell you to do push-ups, they're screaming, do the push-ups. You're screaming back, "I sir," and your voice is starting to hurt. You're coughing. You can't do it no more. They're sweating. You're turning red. You see their face turning red. Breath colliding. All kind of diabolical kind of chemical reactions going on that we don't even. Man. Yeah, they do. They was the real deal. They definitely did. When it came to that mind game kind of stuff, just the bugged out kind of tactics, they had it. They had that one pretty locked up tight. Yeah. So silence, right? From that to dead silence. He starts to lay it out. He is the senior drill instructor. One of the other two would be our knowledge hat. The other one would be what they call the kill hat, but I don't really think they like. I wouldn't really say that because really both of them, all three of them, really didn't do anything but teach us, whether it was physical or it was any kind of knowledge that we needed to know. They did their thing, but the one was he was just cold, man. The one was just a little bit more off, and seemed like a little bit more quick to hop up and whip somebody's ass real quick. Just was that kind of real short temper kind of guy. You never seen no kind of play or no kind of falter away from straight business all the time. No games at all. And it was that guy. He was cold. He was the real deal. So he lays it all out on the line. He's letting us know his name. He's going to be a senior drill instructor. The names of the other two drill instructors, they're going to be living with us at all times. One of them at different times, and they'll take different shifts during the week. There will be one of them with us at least at all times in 24 hours. So they would kind of rotate, however it was, they worked that out. But yeah, one of them, it was at least one of them with us 24 hours, all day long. And so that first day, they really just told us how it was gonna go. I think they had us go back out to show us where we're gonna go to eat in the morning, because you eat at 4:00. By about 4:12, you're sitting down eating. Up at 4, and your ass better be awake at 4. When the lights come on, you hear them come out. Get your ass up and be awake so they can count everybody. Be up there. If not, it's gonna be a bad about hour or two, I would say. Because they're gonna have you doing some old kind of just some unnecessary kind of over the top extra kind of nonsense. They have you taking the racks where the bunks you sleep in. They're two level bunks, one at the bottom, one on top, but it's all one bunk. It's just connected, metal, all metal welded together. So they'll have us take them, push them all the way across the floor to against the wall by the window. Then they'll have us take it and pull it back where we got it from, and then have us take it, push it back all the way back across the floor and slide it to the window, and have us bring it back and repeat that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, probably 25, 30 minutes pushing it. Then they'll have us picking our the foot locker, the big foot locker that we have most, like all our belongings and shit in, the personals, down at the end of the bunk. That thing, picking that up, putting it on the bunk, on the bottom bunk, then taking it off, putting it down, then push the bunk back to the wall, then pull it, then slide it back, then put the I mean, come on, man. Yeah. It's as bad as it just sounded. It was rough, so you had to be up and you better be online. Because you really don't want to go through that, and they'll do it no matter what. You miss going to eat, they're going to deal, nothing, nothing gets dealt with later on. We'll deal with it right now. So, they make it pretty easy to learn doing shit like that. Made it pretty easy to learn. So that first day goes, they just march us around, show us the main places we're gonna be. That for the next I don't know, week or two, however long the first phase was. But that day was just kind of like an orientation day. Just took us around, showed us where the different places were, the places we're gonna frequent the most, and what they expect from us, what it kind of was gonna have to be like, Definitely saw that we were gonna have to turn it up, and it was definitely not no summer camp, because it kind of seemed like guys was there, or maybe kids, I guess. A lot of us were I guess we were kids, you know what I mean? It's pretty young. It seemed like a lot of them seemed like everybody there was a summer camp kind of vibe going on. Like you seen the ones that was off giggling, laughing and shit like that, but later on, those were the ones that ended up having a little bit of a harder time. And everybody gets a rough time. They don't leave anybody out. But the ones that we saw in the beginning that you could tell, like, how serious really was they? Should they? I don't know if they should have came. Like, where do they think this is? Where do they think we are? It's seemed like it was just, it was just time to hang out. And they had a rough go. So first day was pretty much like an orientation type of thing. And and then it was cool. First day was straight. It was a little bugged out when them guys came out. They come out, they got to set the tone right out the gate. So they flipped our minds upside down when that happened. Then it gets quiet and they talk to you, whatever. Then, then it begins. Then, next day you get up 4 o'clock, and every day is 4 o'clock. Be up so they can count. They do the count. Everybody has a number. You yell out your number all the way up until till the last one. And I remember once because we would be drinking. You would drink. You would be sweating so much all day because of physical training. So much they focus on physical training. We drink so much water all day that you would have to get up a couple of times in the night to walk down and go ahead and use the bathroom a couple of times a night. So, of course, in the morning, you have to use the bathroom, and if you slip up and it gets too close and you hold it, you laying there, you like, I don't feel like it, but you don't really know what time it is yet. But you really gotta go. And then 4 o'clock hits and they come out and it's time to get up and go get on the line so we can do the count. You gotta stay to do the count. You can't just leave in the middle of the count. You're stuck there. So I saw somebody do exactly that. He must have had to go bad, but he waited. He waited too long. Got up, time to get up. Sometimes somebody will yell at the wrong number, so they start back over. So you have to do the count again from whatever number it was. You said the wrong number, messed up the count, and said the same number twice for some dumbass reason. You start the count over. So they're doing the count, bam, somebody mess up, they start again. I'm looking across, he's dead across from me, and I can see his face starting to look a little weird. And then I can see like he's starting to do like a little bit of the dance, you know what I mean? You do when you kind of, just almost like he was cold a little bit, like a little bit of a slight shiver, but then his knees started to knock a little bit more. The count's going, gets to me, gets past me, somebody after me, messes up, bam, count starts again. I see it in his face. Man, it looked like the life left from him. And that's when I'm like, oh man, this ain't right. Like, I think something's about to happen that might not be the best. He's about to go. I seen it. I saw it. Because once I seen his face after it started again, and then I put it all together, like he's shaking like that, like it's not, because it wasn't cold and everybody was shaking like that, and you know what I mean, the with the dance that he was kind of starting to do, because you're not supposed to move at all, but he was starting to do the little dance. I'm like, oh man, he gotta go. So the count's coming to me, right? Gets to me, gets past me, gets over to their row. So now they're getting up. This might be the last count. You can see, and his dance is getting a little bit worse. It gets almost to him. Bam, the guy right next to him. He says the same number as the guy next to him. The prior number. He shouts out the same number. Boom. They got to start over again. So buddy that's over there dancing, he came undone. He did like a little lip bite thing, and I seen it he kind of like loaded up to like he was gonna try to hold out his last little bit of strength. It wasn't enough. He had to go. Man, he had to go. He stood right there and peed, right? All right there, he left a super puddle. They had to move over next to him. They were standing too close. They was gonna be in his naturalness he had going on there, spreading down, you know what I mean, creating a zone. Creating a hazardous area, blast zone. They had to get out of there. I had to move over. He sat there and pissed right on himself. Right there and pissed a lot, man. Because he messed around and didn't get up and go. Probably didn't really feel like it because you had to get up and go a few times. By the second or third time when you got to go, you know that you got to get up at Ford. Also, you know, you make the wrong decision a couple of times and it backfires. And instead of just getting up, whether you're about to get up for good in a few seconds or not, go ahead and drain the dragon, man. Because it will come back, I'm telling you. It'll be a bad situation, and you're going to do it in front of everybody, and then that's going to be your nickname for the rest of the whole cycle. That's how we're going to remember you. So, with that being said, we're going to stop this right here. I got plenty more. This thing could be a few-part series because I got plenty more. The rest of my time there at boot camp, and a bunch more good stories that came out of there. The guys that I met, you know what I'm saying, good bonds and different things. You know, the shit that was the roughest for me. The stuff that made me like dig down and dig deep and find, and really find it in me. And then then we get to the culmination, the big day, the couple of days leading up to the crucible. Then bam, yeah. So peace, love, everything above. Huge thanks. I just don't really know have any other way or know any other way to say huge thanks. Keep watching, 'cause I'll be back. And it's like that.